Welcome to Rogers Center. The roof is open here on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, the last Saturday home game of the 2011 season. Joe Girardi's New York Yankees in the midst of a long and tough road trip. They start out in Baltimore, went to Anaheim, up to Seattle. They finish up here in Toronto. Take a look at the Yankees lineup. Derek Jeter, Curtis Granderson, Mark Teixeira, top of the order. Robinson Cano hits cleanup. The interesting addition to the lineup, Alex Rodriguez has been battling a sprained thumb. He is back in the lineup at third base. Nick Swisher, the rookie Jesus Montero will be the DH here this afternoon. Brett Gardner's in the left, and another rookie, Austin Romine, starting his second big league game behind the plate.
This afternoon's starting pitcher is brought to you by Icy Hot. Pain is no match for the Icy Hot patch. Henderson Alvarez will take the mound. This is his 8th start of the season. He's had a couple of no decisions his last 2 starts to the mound. He had that streak of 14 consecutive scoreless innings snapped his last time out. That was against Baltimore. Still gave him 7 innings, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts in that game. Henderson Alvarez showing maturity beyond his 21 years.
He has been impressive. This is his 8th big league start. Remember, Henderson Alvarez began his baseball season in A-ball, the Florida State League, with Dunedin. He is very comfortable, very relaxed, and he looks very at home pitching in the big leagues. His first start against the New York Yankees. Captain Derek Jeter steps in, and we are set for play. First pitch strike from Alvarez. A little extra mustard on that fastball. It was 97.
Yeah, get used to that this afternoon. That's one thing that Henderson Alvarez does. He gets right after you, throws strikes, not afraid to pitch to contact.
Just 21 years old, and as Pat mentioned earlier, pitches well beyond his age. Jeter hits it to the shortstop. One shortstop retires the other.
Defensively this afternoon, playing behind Henderson Alvarez, you better be ready because he puts a lot of balls in play. Adam Lone will get his first start in left field this afternoon. He'll be joined by Colby Rasmus, Jose Bautista in the outfield. Laurie McCoy on the left side. Escobar still bothered with that elbow problem. Johnson Lind on the right side. And there is Adam Lone in left field.
Curtis Granderson bunts it up the third base side. Alvarez throws it away, but there's Kelly Johnson to back up the play. No reason to throw that ball at all. It was such a good bunt. The only hope you have is that it could roll into foul territory, but there's no way you're going to throw out Granderson.
Blue Jays, and we noticed it last night, really bunched the middle against a lot of these left-handed batters of the New York Yankees. Curtis Granderson being one of them, so he crosses him up and just drops a bunt down. The whole left side of the infield is going to be open for these left-handed hitters.
And now you see the Blue Jays, as they always do against Mark Teixeira, using 3 infielders on the first base side of the diamond. Another first pitch strike from Alvarez. Teixeira batting just .244, but you can see his power numbers are right where they have been over the majority of his career.
Got off to a much better start this year. That was the one thing that he wanted to do better this year. Get off to a good start in April and carry it through the year.
Ground ball. Johnson to McCoy for 1. Back to first. Double play. Mark Teixeira hit it right into the shift, and Henderson Alvarez has a breeze in the first. Just 6 pitches, aided by the double play. afternoon. Blue Jays won 5-4 in the bottom of the ninth. In last night's game, Blue Jays are 2 games over 500. Mike McCoy, Kelly Johnson, Jose Bautista. Johnson moving up to the 2-hole with Colon on the mound, the right-hander. Adam Lynn had a big night, pair of doubles in last night's game. He drove in 3 runs with a double in the 5th. David Cooper gets to start as the DH. Colby Rasmus, Brett Laurie. Adam Lowe making his first start in left field, and a hero in last night's game, Jose Molina.
Bartolo Colon, 38 years old, will make his 24th start of the season and his 23rd career start versus the Blue Jays. There are his numbers, 8-9 with a very good ERA of 3.5. In August, he's had a great career record, but he's kind of stumbled now into September as he finishes off this season. He's been very good in the afternoon for the Yankees, 6-1 in 9 daytime starts this year.
Yankees with good speed in the outfield. Gardner and Granderson can really run. Nick Swisher has not committed an error in 130 starts. Derek Jeter, Robinson, Cano up the middle. Alex Rodriguez returns to third base. Mark Teixeira, Austin Romine behind the plate, and Alex Rodriguez has been battling at left thumb that he banged up trying to field the ball off the bat of Joe Mauer. First pitch strike to Mike McCoy. McCoy had his first 3-hit game of the season last night. Boy, if Colon gets that pitch all day long, it's going to be a very long afternoon for the Blue Jays.
Well, so far he has hit the glove twice. Romine, the catcher, hasn't had to move his glove an inch to make those catches, and I think that's really sold it to home plate umpire C.B. Buckner.
And why not go out there again? This season against the Blue Jays, you can see he's made 4 starts, and the Blue Jays have roughed him up. He has an ERA at 6.86 in those 4 starts.
And one of those starts just 2/3 of an inning back on July the 14th right here at Rogerson, and that ties his shortest career start.
Fly ball into center, not that deep. Granderson is right there. McCoy's retired.
Scatter report on Bartolo Colon is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Stays out of the middle. He's really carving the corners and moves the ball around, but he stays out of the middle for the most part. He'll mix in a curve every now and then. And right now he's waiting for a win. It's been a long time. His last win came on July the 30th. 3 losses and 4 no decisions, although he has pitched well since then. Believe it or not, the Yankees have had trouble scoring runs for him when he's been in the ball game.
As prolific as they are at scoring runs, Colon kind of gets left out. Colon misses inside with that fastball. He's going to throw you a lot of fastballs. Kelly Johnson is a good fastball hitter. His numbers since coming over to the Blue Jays. This fastball is pulled on the ground. Robinson, Cano, 2 down.
When you watch Colon work and you watch Henderson Alvarez work, they're almost carbon copies. They throw a lot of fastballs. They've got a lot of movement, a lot of late break to their fastball. And they get a lot of ground ball outs. Colon over 200 ground ball outs this year.
Jose Bautista bats with 2 outs. Takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. Bautista walked 4 times last night. Once intentionally. He was walked in the 8th inning with runners at first and third. This is a long drive left field, but it's hooking foul. Got out in front of it. Looked like Colon took something off that pitch, about 85 miles an hour.
There's that occasional ball that will just flip up there. Watch this one just spin, and Bautista's just a little bit out in front. Catches it on the end, but plenty of power to hit it out of the ballpark.
Up and away. We mentioned the 4 walks. That's the 14th time in franchise history a player has gotten 4 walks in a game. The last player to do that prior to last night was Alex Rios back on May 19th, 2007 in Philadelphia.
He has had a couple of very good games in a row. 8 times he has been on base the last 2 games.
This one's popped up into center field. Granderson looking up into that bright sun, has the glasses down, makes the catch. Colon has a 1-2-3 first inning.
Report for Henderson Alvarez. No fear when he is out on that mound. He will challenge those hitters. He will use his fastball, and he sinks it up there. 14 and 18 ground ball out games that he has had already in his very young career. He's going to put the ball in play, and a lot of times it's going to be on the ground. And finishing touches, last time out he got ahead of the batters but had trouble finishing them off. That's something that we will watch for this afternoon, as if he is able to finish off hitters.
He has been ahead of all three batters he's faced. He's thrown first pitch strikes to the first three batters. Same for Bartolo Colon. Robinson Cano. Cano had another good night at the plate last night. He was 2 for 4 in his first at bat, leading off the second. He hit a ball to right field, tried to stretch a single into a double, and Jose Bautista gunned him out at second.
He's been just such a rock, I think, for the New York Yankees. He has played 160 games, 3 out of the last 4 years for New York. The one year he missed it, 2008, he had 159 games.
There's another bunt. Alvarez, what a play. Well, I tell you what, you can see that he started out his baseball career as a shortstop. Right there, the skills were very evident.
Watch how he moves off the mound after Cano tries to drop down that bunt, how he plants his right foot and then throws off that back foot and snaps it over to first base for the first out.
Well, what a good play. Very athletic. The crowd is awakened by the arrival of Alex Rodriguez into the batter's box. And the first pitch strike.
Reaches back for a little something extra there. That's the thing that we have noticed about Alvarez, that he has that ability. If he needs a little bit more, he can throw it a little bit harder.
And he does it without much effort. It's not as if he really has to come out of his delivery to generate more velocity.
Oh. Wow.
My sentiments exactly. Where was it?
He tied up A-Rod, and I think he surprised the umpire. It's got to be a strike.
2-2. Rodriguez has not played since Friday out in Anaheim against the Angels. Three and 2. Alvarez, we mentioned this is his 8th start. His last 5 starts have been great. His whip is under 1. He's only walked 5 batters and struck out 22. There's a base hit into center field. Lowen comes over from left, cuts it off, and gets it back to the infield. Adam Lowen making his first start in left field. He only played one game in left field in AAA Las Vegas this year, but he's got a lot of help from Torey Lovullo, the outfield coach.
This is all about positioning, playing where they want to position him against certain batters. He can play a deep outfield. He takes good routes to the ball. Torey Lovullo is very thorough in how he wants his outfielders to set up. And Lowen, you know, he's an imposing guy in the outfield with a very good arm.
Nick Swisher takes a strike. Swisher drove in 2 runs last night. He had an RBI double and came around to score in the 4th, and then he drove in Robinson Cano in the 6th with 2 outs. Ground ball. Kelly Johnson quickly to Mike McCoy, and that is a textbook 4-6-3 double play. Henderson Alvarez will get you some ground balls. The infielders have turned 2 already this afternoon. Prizes from Sharp, including Canada's largest LCD TV, a 70-inch Sharp Aquos. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp makes bigger, better. And that Sharp TV will give you a great picture of the CN Tower on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And I'm sure there are going to be some walkers on the edge of the CN Tower today.
Well, I know 2 of them who are not going to be out there. Right here.
You're right about that. Adam Lynn had a big night last night. Colon continues to pour that fastball in there for strikes. Lynn had a 3-run double in the 5th and then had a leadoff double in the 9th against Boone Logan. That was his first hit in 11 at-bats against Logan.
That one had to feel good because he stayed back on the ball. Logan missed his spot, but Lynn stayed back and was able to hammer it off the left-hander.
Lynn has a home run against Bartolo Colon. Colon has given up 19 homers this year. Saw Lynn's numbers, and there's what we talked about against Cologne, but hitting just over 200 over the last couple of weeks, and we've talked about a lot of movement in his upper body, that head moving around quite a bit, causing him some problems. No problem here. Sharp single into right. Lynn off to a good start this afternoon. So with Lynn at first, David Cooper will come up, the PCL batting champ this year at AAA Las Vegas.
Since his recall from Vegas, they've gotten some good games both from David Cooper and Adam Lowen. Look at the numbers: 467 for Cooper, 357 for Lowen. They have come up here and just carried on what they did this year down in AAA. They don't seem to be overwhelmed at all by big league pitching. Cooper's a different type of hitter than the one we saw earlier this year, using the whole field just a little bit better.
This should be a good matchup for David Cooper. Those are his numbers for his season here in the big leagues. He's got a couple of home runs.
If Colon stays away from him, like he'll tend to do to lefties, he'll punch that ball the other way.
Done a pretty good job of backing off that fastball. Just 88 miles an hour with a lot more run down and away.
One of the things that Colon likes to do, especially to those left-handers, he likes to freeze them when he gets to 2 strikes with that comeback fastball in the inner half. But you've got to battle your way before you get there.
Kobe Rasmus, another left-handed batter, standing on deck. Rasmus returned to the Blue Jays and started in last night's game. Base hit into center field. Adam Lynn thinking about going to third. Granderson, the center fielder, the throw is cut off. Good job by Adam Lynn, forcing the issue. Cooper delivers a base hit.
David Cooper can hit. He's got a very short stroke. He stays on the ball, hits it right back through the middle. Watch, there's hardly any extra movement in his swing. And Lynn, it was very slow to develop. He sees the ball now, realizes that Granderson is moving away from third base. Challenges the arm of Granderson and makes it easily. Ball's cut off by Jeter.
Brian Butterfield puts together the scouting report on the outfielder's arms and when you can challenge them and when you can't. Granderson had a long run to his left. Kobe Rasmus has a drive to right field. And this is going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Lynn's coming in. Cooper's being stopped at third, and Kobe Rasmus has put the Jays out in front. 3 hits in a row off Colon.
All from the left-handers. Lefties hitting a much higher clip against Colon this year at 289. And that's one thing that the Blue Jays have done this year. They've become a little bit more balanced as opposed lefty-righty with Rasmus, Cooper, Lowen, getting some lefties in the lineup against these right-handed type pitchers. No chance if this ball goes all the way to the wall for another extra base hit.
That snaps an 0 for 19 for Colby Rasmus, his 22nd double of the season. Great opportunity for the Blue Jays early. Second and third, nobody out. Brett Lawrie. Brett Lawrie has a pretty good idea what Colon's going to try to do to him here this afternoon.
He's a smart kid. He understands. He pays attention. He knows what Colon's going to try and do. He's going to try and sink that fastball away from him, try and tie him up a little bit inside if he needs to. But he pays attention. He has faced him 3 times with a strikeout. Outfield has shifted over towards right field, showing you that Colon is going to try and stay away from him.
2-0. Ran that ball back over the outside corner, but so far Laurie's right on about how Colon is going to approach it.
There are the splits that we were talking about. A lot more success the lefties versus the righties for Bartolo Colon.
Good eye. Just off the plate outside.
Sometimes kids come up here, young kids, and they're wowed about the major leagues, and little details go right over their heads. Not with this guy. He pays attention. He has a very good understanding of the game.
Bouncing ball. Jeter deep, it's short. Bounces the throw just in time to get Lawrie, but Lawrie will pick up the RBI as Cooper comes in to score. It's 2-0 Blue Jays.
Jeter's going to play that carpet, and it almost backfires on him. 1, 2 bounces, and Laurie almost beats it out. We have seen shortstops in the past use that artificial turf to help them get that ball across the infield.
So Laurie picks up the RBI. Adam Lone now with 1 out and Colby Erasmus at second. Lone had the big hit in Wednesday's win in Boston. Drove in 2 runs in the 8th inning off Daniel Bard. Center field, but Granderson's right there. Jeter stepped like he was going to break for second, and Colon thought the pickoff was on. Jeter held his ground, and the ball went right into center field, but Rasmus dove back into the bag.
Yeah, and he can't move up because of that. There's Jeter. It looks like he's going to give him the open glove. That one almost hit Colby Rasmus.
Things a little out of sorts here for Colon in the second. Colon thought that was a strike. You could see his long look into C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire. Career minor leaguer as a hitter. He had 34 home runs in 444 games, but that trend is going to go upwards.
Showing a good eye at the plate.
Three and 0. Let him swing away.
Let him swing. I was just going to ask you the same thing. Why not? You already have a 2-0 lead. It's early in the game. Let him see if he can uncork one.
Takes a strike. Adam Lone in his 3rd season as a hitter has made dramatic strides this year. We saw him in spring training, and he was a lot different than he is right now. Right at the knees.
Did a lot of work with Chad Mottola, the third hitting coach down in AAA, as this ball is just at the knees. But Mottola really worked on him about keeping his hands inside the ball. That's where you're going to get your power. That's where you're going to keep that bat on the hitting plane for a long time.
Takes a walk. Good at bat by Lone. The Jays have made Colon work here in the second inning. 3 consecutive hits. And an RBI ground out. And now a walk. Jose Molina against his former team, the New York Yankees. Molina with the game winner in last night's game, delivered the base hit to score Brett Laurie. The 11th walk-off win for the Blue Jays this season.
Only San Francisco has more walk-off wins than the Blue Jays this year. That hit by Molina also is the first ex-Yankees player with a walk-off RBI against them since 2007. You knew a little something about Wade.
Got that ball inside. It's 0-2.
You notice the Yankees the last 2 nights becoming very aware of the base runners by the Blue Jays, knowing that they like to steal, hit and run, play aggressive while they're on the bases, and it worked to their advantage last night.
Serves as a distraction for the pitcher. Cano right in by second. Bounced foul by Molina. Yeah, you're right, and a lot of teams are doing this, and we saw this early with the Blue Jays when they had more speed in their lineup. Really rattled the Boston Red Sox early in Fenway Park. But they have shown that they're going to be aggressive, especially when you got a chance to go first and third. John Farrell loves to push the offense.
Well, you start taking the defense and you start putting them out of position. Robinson Cano at second base is almost playing right behind the bag now, opening up a shot on the right side of the infield for Molina.
Molina hooks it down the left field line. Brett Gardner's not going to get it. It bounces over the wall for a ground rule double, and that cost the Blue Jays a run. Adam Lowen was flying to third base, and he was thinking about scoring.
Oh, he would have scored because he can run. Adam Lowen is an athlete. He read the ball beautifully off the bat of Molina, now 2 for 2 in this series against his ex-mates. Breaking ball goes down and just punches it to left field. Rasmus is going to score easily on this ball, but Lowen was low flying. You see him right behind him, and he's got to go back now.
Yeah, he had a full head of steam going into third base. Molina with his 11th double of the season. He's at second, picks up the RBI, his 15th of the season. The infield is in. McCoy pushes it to Teixeira. Here's Lowen, and he scores. And now they're calling Mike McCoy out for the tag, and Lowen comes in to score.
What a creative way to make the tag by Teixeira. Initially, he thought about going home on the bunt. It wasn't the suicide bunt, as McCoy lays it down. Catcher is ready. Teixeira came in, and he was thinking about it, but then McCoy is tagged. You see him behind him. Watch this. He's thinking about going home, realizes he can't get him, and then reaches behind him and makes the tag.
Teixeira showed the umpire I tagged him, and then Sonia, the first base umpire, called McCoy out.
You know, the ball was in his hand. It wasn't in his glove. That one replay showed him tagging him with his glove, but he also tagged him with his hand.
See, Mike McCoy getting attention from George Poulos. McCoy smashed his finger on that bunt. He slid his hand around the barrel of the bat, and that ball hit his finger. Kelly Johnson. Ball on the strike. A 4-run inning, and the Blue Jays continue to give Bartolo Colon all sorts of problems this year.
That's 19 earned runs now for Colon in just over 20 innings.
This has been a problem for the Yankees. For that matter, starting pitching has been a problem for the Red Sox. The Red Sox have one reliable starter right now in John Lester, and the Yankees are about in the same boat. Ivan Nova, the rookie, has pitched very well for them and consistently, but CC Sabathia has been their horse. C.B. Buckner calls out Kelly Johnson on a fastball, and Colon finally gets out of the second. But the Blue Jays score 4 runs. Jose Molina, another key hit. we mentioned he started one game down in AAA in left field, and Lowen's gotten a lot of instruction from coaches and from Jose Bautista about angles and where you have to play in left field as opposed to center or right.
I think a lot of that has to do also with the foul lines here, how the ball hits on the wall and where it will come out in the outfield. You've got to guard against that little part of the wall that jets out down the left field line. Bautista just reminding him a little bit about that.
Bautista, boy, he brings so much to the table. Anxious to help everybody. Jesus Montero, the rookie, he's DHing today. He is a catcher. You can see his numbers for his early career. He's got some power. He's got opposite field power. He can drive the ball out of the ballpark to right. Henderson Alvarez with a 4-0 lead. The Montero, Gardner, and Austin Romine to bat for the Yankees. Good slider. Brett Flory coming in from third. Barrett hands it and couldn't make the play. It's a base hit for Montero. Blue Jays infield was deep, respecting the power of the DH.
You can see how deep Flory is. He's got to come a long way, but he's got the athleticism to do that. Tries to catch it on the short hop right there. He just doesn't get up into the palm of his hand where he can surround it with his fingers and make the play. So it'll go as an infield hit. Second infield hit of the afternoon by the Yankees.
Brett Gardner. Gardner had a bunt attempt in last night's game that trickled into foul ground. Laurie is even with the bag at third. Alvarez bouncing off the mound, anticipating a bunt.
There's Laurie. He's going to be ready just in case. It's a good infield. They have to be ready because he throws so many strikes and he gets a lot of ground balls. So your infield has to be ready. I was watching Mike McCoy in between innings throwing the baseball. Remember, he got hit right on his finger of his throwing hand his last at bat, and it didn't seem to be bothering him.
The backup shortstop would be Chris Woodward, as Escobar is still unable to play. 0-2. Gardner has worn out the Blue Jays this season. 18 for 40. You see Gardner listening to Molina bark at C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire.
And he's got a reason to. That was a pretty good looking pitch, that last one.
And Molina's going to hold that one, trying to make his point. Henderson Alvarez a little confused about the strike zone early.
And that's that could be a problem with a young kid. That strike zones right now are not being called very consistently. He thinks he has to be more perfect, if you will, instead of just doing your thing.
Bouncing ball wide of third. Laurie goes to second for one. No time to get Gardner. They get the lead runner.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So with one out, Brett Gardner's at first. The number 9 batter, the catcher Austin Romine, steps in. Gardner had 2 steals in last night's game. He now has 11 against the Blue Jays this season. You see the steals in a season against the Blue Jays. Ricky Henderson in '88 had 13 steals when he was with Oakland. Carl Crawford, Tampa Bay at the time, had 12. So Gardner has Henderson in his sights. He's tough to stop.
Yeah, tough to stop. It's a good combination, I think, though, for the Blue Jays. Alvarez is very quick towards home. does a good job of holding runners on. And Molina has been doing a better job throwing out base runners. Again, the first time that the Yankees have faced Henderson Alvarez, so that's another part of the game that they're trying to figure out, his move, how quick he is towards home plate. Gardner does not have a very big lead right now over at first.
Yeah, you would think Gardner would take a bigger lead in a one-way lead back to first just to draw a throw, just to see what kind of move Alvarez has. But so far, a very modest lead. Now he's stretching it out a bit. There's a strike. 1-2. See, Joe Girardi passed the stopwatch to Tony Pena, the bench coach. Said, put a time on this guy. He's pretty quick to the plate. Molina looks Gardner back to first. Austin Romine's 22 years old. He is the son of Kevin Romine, Major League player, former Major League player, and Austin's brother Andrew Romine is currently with the Angels. He's a third baseman.
We have been hearing about Austin Romine now for a couple of years. Yankees farm system, they have a lot of catchers coming up. You mentioned Montero, who was over at first base just recently, and Romine.
Now the numbers we were talking about with Brett Gardner, 45 steals. Foul back. Romine had an interesting path to the big leagues. He was headed from AAA, Scranton Wilkes-Barre. They had finished their season. He was driving back to his home in Orange County, California. The Yankees had Russell Martin dinged up with a foul tip. Cervelli went on the deal. They needed Romine in the big leagues, but they couldn't get in touch with him. Bouncing ball. Laurie cuts in front of McCoy. He has to go to first. Romine's retired. They're 2 down.
So how did they find him?
Joe Girardi, they were in Anaheim. Girardi went over to Austin's brother Andrew and says, do you know where your brother is? He said, yeah, he's driving back from AAA. So they got him on the cell phone, says, wherever you're at, drive to the nearest airport and fly to Anaheim. We need you in the big leagues. And sure enough, he showed up in the Angels series.
They played that night?
Yep. Got into a ball game in the 7th inning. And his brother was in the other dugout. Derek Jeter back to the top of the order. He bats with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Boy, he get tied up with that inside fastball. Four nothing Blue Jays. Henderson Alvarez making his first start against the Yankees. Molina's got some words to say to Alvarez. Probably something along the lines of let's drive toward the plate, not over towards the first base foul line.
Jose Molina has done a good job working with Henderson Alvarez his last few starts. He knows what he wants from his young starter. He's got a very good idea of the stuff. He didn't like catching him early in spring training. His ball moved too much for him.
Ground ball. Mike McCoy at short. They'll throw out Derek Jeter for a second time this afternoon. The Yankees leave a base runner. Alvarez has a 4-0 lead. t-shirt giveaway. While the Blue Jays wrap up the series with the New York Yankees, the game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays jersey t-shirt. Players include Adam Lynn, Ricky Romero, and Yunel Escobar. Call the Jays directly at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com, or you can always stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Jose Bautista popped up his first at bat. Off speed pitch. Big bouncing ball to short. One down. Cologne's a very easy approach to figure out. You just have to figure out velocity more than anything. I mean, it's going to be a fastball 9 times out of 10, but then he'll take something off and create more sink. Kind of a dead fish fastball, if you will.
Right. You got to figure inside or outside. He's got that type of control too, that he can spot that ball. Just 36 base on balls coming into this game all season long for Bartolo. Different pitcher that he was when he first came to the big leagues with the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, when he first came up with the Indians, he'd throw about 100.
Yeah.
And he ran it upstairs, just overpowered batters.
And it was max effort. Every pitch was max effort. The thing that he has learned over the years, he has learned to take a little bit off, put a little on his pitches. That last pitch right there, just 80 miles an hour. And he can sink the ball now.
Adam Lynn fouls it back. Lynn got things started into second. He singled into right center his first time up. Came in to score the first run of the ball game. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. The Jays playing their final Saturday home game of the season. Popped up on the infield. Rodriguez makes the catch. You mentioned Alex Rodriguez has not played since the 9th of September against the Angels. That Friday night, he's been battling a sore thumb. They've made some adjustments with his bat. We'll show you those if we can pick him up when he comes up next time. David Cooper got a base hit his first time up. We mentioned this is a pretty good matchup for Cooper because Cologne throws a lot of fastballs first, but he also runs that ball away right into the strength of Cooper.
He doesn't have a problem with that ball going down and away from him. That has never been a problem in his swing. The part of his game that has had improvement this year is his ability to pull pitches down. That inside pitch, he used to fight to get it off of him. Now he tries to pull it.
Cologne with that comeback fastball. New York Yankees. We went back to his last start against the Red Sox on Labor Day, and if you combine the two, he's throwing a 7-hit shutout.
It's pretty impressive against those offenses. The Boston Red Sox, #1 in the American League in terms of batting average. Yankees have hit over 200 home runs, and Henderson Alvarez, first look at both of those teams, 9 innings, no earned runs. Pretty impressive.
Curtis Granderson, center fielder. 2 balls and no strikes.
Brett Laurie, the third baseman, is way in now. Granderson bunted for a hit his first time up, and now wants to take that away from him.
Pops this ball out of play along the left side. Boy, Henderson Alvarez, he is a treat to play behind. As an infielder, even the outfielders, they're constantly at the ready. He doesn't lull you to sleep. He gets the ball and rocks and fires. Keeps everybody on their toes. He spun out of his delivery there and kicks it at the landing spot on the mound. Ripped foul.
You know, it's a very simple delivery that Henderson Alvarez has. Blue Jays have been working with him to try and smooth that out and get it to move together. And when he first came up, it was like a 2-part type of windup. Now he's working together, and it's really helped him to stay in the strike zone.
Well, how about that last pitch? A 3-2 changeup. Granderson just got a piece of it. He's got a tremendous feel for when to throw that pitch, and never ever telegraphs it by slowing his delivery down. Comes right back with it again. Chris Walton, in talking about Alvarez and his side work, really compliments the youngster for his ability to throw strikes back and forth to either side of the plate. He and Granderson are having some battle here.
That was the thing that Jose Molina talked about when he was describing it. Henderson Alvarez, his ability to throw the ball where he wants to at such a young age.
Change up, and he walked Granderson. Leadoff walk here in the 4th.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Mark Teixeira grounded into a double play. Again, you see the shift utilized by the Blue Jays. Cut on and missed by Teixeira. Blue Jays have turned 2 ground ball double plays here so far. They got Teixeira in the first and Swisher in the second. That ball is driven into center. It's going to get down. Colby Erasmus cuts it off. Granderson goes first to third. Teixeira's headed for second, and he'll get there with a slide. Second and third, nobody out.
For a big power hitter, Mark Teixeira can really stay inside a ball. This pitch, they want to go inside. He stays with his hands on the inside, and that takes the barrel of the bat right to the ball. Ball slicing away from Rasmus, runs it down, cuts it off, or Granderson's going to score. Teixeira, good piece of hitting right there to keep the inning going.
Best opportunity for the Yankees so far this afternoon. Rob Thompson, third base coach, giving Granderson some instruction. The infield is back. They'll trade a run for an out here. Fidel drives it to left, lower, long run, hits to the warning track, drops the ball. Granderson comes in, Teixeira moves to third, and Cano will end up at second. just flat out dropped the ball. He kind of got twisted around as that ball sliced back over his shoulder.
You know, that's one thing that he will learn as an outfielder. That ball is going to slice on you from a left-handed hitter. Watch how he goes back. Thinks it's going to be able to play over his right shoulder, but it kept slicing, and it actually went back over towards his left shoulder. And when he reaches up, misses it.
Remember, he scored a sac fly for Cano. He'll be credited with the RBI, and air charged on Lowen. And he just missed it. Got twisted around, and it hit the heel of his glove. Alex Rodriguez. Infield stays back. Alvarez pounds that fastball in there for a strike. For 1 ball game. Oh, 2. Rodriguez, as he has been throughout his career, very good at delivering in clutch situations. 321 average. Teixeira at third. Cano at second. Mullane is going to talk it over with Alvarez. Alvarez shook off a sign, and Mullane said, "You know what? Let's talk about it."
Yeah, this is a good learning time right now for a young pitcher. One of the things that A-Rod is starting to do, you talk about the thumb, he got some tape in between his 2 hands. There it is right there, and he's going to hit with a split grip now.
The injured thumb is his left thumb. It's on his glove hand, and he's got a piece of tape wrapped around the bat handle to cushion that top hand. He injured it going to the backhand, jamming that thumb into the ground. Joe Mauer hit one to the backhand side, and he just stubbed his thumb right into the ground. Alvarez thought he'd made a good pitch with that fastball.
The idea of the split grip came from Kevin Long, the hitting coach. They went down to the batting cage before yesterday's game and worked on it just to relieve some of the pressure on that thumb. Says he felt like he had some power back.
Ground ball. Teixeira holds it third. Rory throws out Rodriguez. Good pitch from Alvarez.
That's where the value of being able to throw strikes on either side of the plate comes in. He tried to nibble away against Rodriguez and then jammed him, getting him looking out over the plate. Runners have to hold up.
Nick Swisher, the right fielder. Swisher had a pair of RBI in last night's game. Now has 83 for the season. Way inside. Not a bad idea. Loosen him up a bit, pushed him back.
Get him moving his feet a little bit. Swisher had 2 very good at bats last night. Had a double to right field and single to left field. Good RBI man.
Drives this ball to center field. Rasmus is going to make a running catch. They just passed the runner at third. Cano is out. Cano passed to Teixeira. Rasmus made a terrific catch, and the Yankees waste a great opportunity. Robinson Cano came around third and passed to Teixeira. Was immediately called out. Another double play for the Blue Jays.
I didn't think Rasmus had any chance of making the catch. The Yankees didn't think so either. But there it is right there. Cano passes to Teixeira. Inning over.
Scored 2 more on this drive off the bat of Nick Swisher, but Rasmus takes one away.
This ball is smoked to the gap, and when it left the bat, it was hit hard where Colby Rasmus was playing. I didn't think he had any chance of making the catch. It hangs up long enough where he runs it down. Cano doesn't see that Teixeira went back to tag, and as soon as he passes him, throws his arms up, and that's an out.
Looks like the Keystone Cops at third. Cano assumed that ball was going to get down and ran right past Teixeira. Well, what a play by Rasmus. And he is sneaky quick.
Yeah.
I didn't think he had a chance to get to that ball.
Once he gets started running with those long legs.
Runs this ball down to third base line. That's going to be a base hit. What a heads-up inning for Colby Rasmus.
Again, using his speed right there. He puts the ball down perfectly. And again, with those long strides, no chance for the Yankees to make a play. And Aaron's got to eat it.
Brett Lloyd with Rasmus at first. Laurie picked up an RBI on a ground ball to shortstop. He was retired 6-3. Blue Jays can play hit and run here. We have seen Brett Lloyd really handle the bat well. Good speed at first with Rasmus.
He can handle the bat, so wherever it's pitched, and chances are the ball's going to be away from him, he can shoot the ball to right field.
There goes Rasmus. The ball is driven into center. It'll get down for a base hit. Once that ball was lined into center, Rasmus had to make sure it was safely down. Hey fans, every time Toronto hits a home run in the 4th inning, someone will win a 40-inch Aquos Quattron TV and Blu-ray player. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better. Well, the Blue Jays just bounced right back. Couple of hits to start the 4th inning.
Colon looked like he was getting into a nice groove in that 3rd inning. 1-2-3 very quickly. Blue Jays pounce on him here. A couple of hits, and now they are liable to do anything.
Adam Lowen takes a high fastball. Lowen had a good at bat his first time up against Bartolo Colon. Took some close pitches and worked Colon for the walk. Ball on the strike. John Farrell, a quick sign to Brian Butterfield, who passes it along to the hitter and the base runners. Rasmus at second, Laurie at first.
Last night it was Laurie at second and Rasmus at first when they put the hit and run on with Jose Molina. That was the eventual game winner.
There's a strike on the outside corner. They were 50-50 on that hit and run play. Rasmus at first got the sign. Laurie at second didn't get the sign, but it was academic as Molina drove it into the gap in the right.
It's one thing that we have seen again in the second half, a lot more speed and athleticism on the bases, taking some chances.
Strike 3 call. Colon went right back to that outside corner. Bowen's caught looking. 3rd strikeout for Colon.
That's where he needs to live, on those corners. Talked about it in the scouting report. He can drive that ball away from the left-handers. And that one is right on the corner. Romine doesn't even have to move his glove.
Now here's the situation we had in last night's game with Molina batting. We mentioned the base runners were flip-flop, but this is not a bad time to play hit and run even with 2 base runners. Molina can put the ball in play. First pitch swinging, just foul. The combination is a very good one for the Blue Jays because all of these factors. Colon throws strikes. Molina's a good fastball hitter, and you've got two good base runners on.
And you want to stay out of the double play. Colon throws a lot of ground balls. Anything on the ground, and Jose Molina is a candidate for a double play. So everything working in the Blue Jay favor here.
Colon's not so sure they're not going to start the runners. He steps off again. He's been preoccupied with base runners at second all afternoon. Foul back. 0-2.
Jose's winding up, isn't he, at the plate? He knows what Colon likes to do. He is laying on that back leg a long time.
Joe Girardi. He and the Yankees have a 3.5 game lead over the Red Sox. Doesn't sound like much, but home field advantage is huge in the postseason. Especially for the Yankees, who hit so much better at home.
Oh. In that ballpark with that lefty dominated lineup that the Yankees have, and they can throw out there, that right field looks very inviting. But they've got a killer schedule the last couple of weeks of the season. They play Tampa 7 more times, and they still have a big weekend series to go against the Red Sox.
0-2. Molina lifts it to left field. Gardner's going to make the catch, and base runners have to go back and tag. 2 outs. Mike McCoy picked up an RBI on a bunt. Sacrifice bunt pushed it to Teixeira. Teixeira was thinking about coming home to make a play on Adam Malone, but he didn't have the time and tagged McCoy out.
Colby Rasmus is really going to concentrate on getting a very hefty secondary lead. The outfield is very shallow with Mike McCoy at the plate. He's going to have to get that huge secondary lead so he can try and score on any type of hit.
Yankee outfielders throw well. Gardner, the left fielder, has 7 assists. Granderson, the center fielder, has 11, and Nick Swisher has 9 in right.
And they're close. Not
very shallow.
Deep, very shallow.
Drives this ball to right. Swisher was shallow. He's not going to get this off the wall. 1 run is in. Brent Laurie is getting waved home. Cano to the plate. Not in time. And now McCoy's going for third, and he will be called safe. Alex Rodriguez checking with Jerry Meals. It looked like Rodriguez just gave a swipe tag, and Mike McCoy with a nifty little slide is safe at third.
How about crossing up the defense by Mike McCoy? Just told you how shallow the outfielders were against McCoy, and he crosses them up and drives one over the head of the right fielder. You can see Nick Swisher has no chance on this ball. Got to play it off the wall, gets it in. Cano's got an excellent throwing arm as the second baseman, but no chance to get Laurie at the plate.
Kelly Johnson was called out. Take a look at the tag at third. Rodriguez just waves the glove, and you can see McCoy reaches for the bag, pulls his hand back, and then tags it with his foot.
They used to call those hook slides, but that was, I'm going to slide and then peel out of there. Watch McCoy as he just inches out of the way. His left hand, or excuse me, his right hand was already on the bag.
Well, what a good call by the umpire. It would have been so easy to call Mike McCoy out, but Jerry Meals was standing right on top of the bag and made a heck of a call. Popped up. Rodriguez coming down from third. Wind playing tricks with that, but the Blue Jays had 2 more here at 6-1 after 4. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. No matter what he's doing, but when he's on the bases, you can count on him giving you full effort.
And he's not thinking about first or third. He is thinking about scoring. Got his head down, and here he comes, barreling into home.
Now you can see Colby Rasmus there giving him direction to slide to the outside, slide away from the tag, and Rasmus did a good job of helping out Brett Lawrie score all the way from first. 6-1. Blue Jays lead it. Bottom third of the order for the Yankees will start the 5th. Montero, Gardner, and Romine. First pitch, breaking ball. First one of those we've seen today.
That's a good time to throw it. Again, his slider is a pitch that is really starting to develop. Throw it early in the count. It's not a finishing pitch. I think it has the ability, though, to be a pretty good slider. Right now, it's his 3rd worst pitch, if you will. His fastball is his best pitch. And he's got a good changeup. He's not afraid to throw that any time, and it's developing.
Down and away. We mentioned Montero has power. He had a 2-home run game already in his young career and becomes just the 4th Yankee to have a 2-home run game before turning 22. The other Yankees, pretty impressive list. How about Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, and Joe Pepitone? Pretty good company.
That's pretty good company right there.
Strike 3 call. Now the breaking ball, and Montero strikes out.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
First strikeout of the afternoon for Henderson Alvarez. Boy, he just throws strike after strike on the first pitch, and that's such an aggressive approach and really gives the pitcher the upper hand.
You know, it's a lot like when Rivera was trying to get rid of his problems that he has had with the Boston Red Sox. And Ricky was talking after that game, it really diffuses their offense if you can throw strike 1. Their whole game is just trying to get that pitch count up, make that pitcher work. And if you jump ahead like that, you're in the driver's seat. Henderson Alvarez certainly can do that. Rivera has done that over his last couple of starts. Makes it tough.
Line drive toward left. Lowen gets a good jump, dives for it, and it's past him all the way to the wall. Granderson can fly. He's headed for third, and he'll get there with the head first slide. That's the 8th triple of the season for Brett Gardner. Lowen took a shot and dove for it, and once he missed it, Gardner was off to the races.
It looked like he had a shot. He was shading him to left field. And he'll have to shade him a little bit more, and the ball slicing away from him. It just keeps going away from you. And he almost comes up with it. Hustles back there to hold him to a triple.
Popped up. Kelly Johnson fighting the sun. Makes the catch, and Gardner has to hold at third. Well, how about Alvarez? I tell you what, he gets a guy at third base, and what's he do? He throws a strike and ties up Romine, pops him up. I mean, there's no panic in his approach, whatever it is.
It's always a good thing for a young player not to know if you're up by 5 runs or down by 5 runs. Just go out there and just execute your game plan. Keep throwing strikes like Alvarez is doing here today. His facial expressions and his body language they never change.
2 outs. Back to the top of the order. Jeter is grounded to short twice. You know, you mentioned Alvarez and his composure and demeanor on the mound, and Kyle Drabek, that's one thing they'd like him to do, is to have this kind of approach where batters can't read anything in your emotions. And Alvarez is a perfect example for Drabek.
For a young player, it's hard to control it because you want it so bad, and you want to show your frustrations when things don't go your way. And it's an acquired way of acting, if you will.
This is Henderson Alvarez before he starts his warm-up. He's pretty uptight, huh? Boy, what a great personality. Upbeat. And on the mound, he's all business.
What it shows, I think, for a young player is confidence. That none of these types of situations are going to faze me. I know I'm good. I'm going to do my thing until you show me that you can't hit me. I'm just going to keep doing it.
In just his 8th big league start. Kyle Drabek made 14 starts before he was sent back to AAA, and he's made some progress. And he certainly has great stuff. There's no question about that. And I don't think anybody in the Blue Jays has changed their opinion of Kyle Drabek, that he will be a good starting pitcher in the big leagues.
I like how Alex Anthopoulos went down to watch his last start at AAA and came away saying, we cannot get rid of this guy. He is too good. His stuff really plays.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peel down to first base, and then Schoenberg said no swing. Henderson Alvarez is getting a little taste of what it's like to pitch against the Yankees.
I think that's a swing right there. I've seen a lot smaller swings than that be called a strike.
And the Blue Jays dugout is hollering, if he hits it, it's a double. Full count, 2 outs. Another ground ball to short. McCoy to first. Jeter's retired. Alvarez leaves a base runner at third. Pretty cool customer, Henderson Alvarez. game, check out jayslive.sportsnet.ca. Live stats and live chats with Shai Davidi and Mike Wilner. That's jayslive.sportsnet.ca. Ask him questions, chat back and forth, and find out that there's a new pitcher for the New York Yankees. Scott Proctor taking over for Bartolo Colon here in the 5th.
He began the season with the AAA team of the Atlanta Braves, made 14 appearances with them. He was signed by Atlanta as a minor league free agent, and then made his way here to New York. This is his second go-round for Scott Proctor with the New York Yankees. There are his numbers with the Braves and New York this year.
Scott Proctor, very similar to the former Blue Jay and former Yankee Paul Quantrill, in his ability to throw strikes and come right at you. Starts Jose Bautista off with a strike. One and one. A breaking ball missed away. Proctor is now 34 years old. Made it to the Yankees for the first time in 2004. Pitched in 26 games in his first year, all in relief. Actually started a game for the Yankees in 2005. Full count.
Joe Torre loved him when he was pitching out of Torre's bullpen in New York. Took him over to Los Angeles for a couple of years while Torre was the manager over there. Used him frequently.
Pops this one right back over our head.
2006, when he was with the Yankees pitching out of the bullpen, he got into 83 games through 102 innings for Torre.
Joe had a horse and he rode him. Wasn't afraid to call Proctor's number. Bautista out in front, fouls it back. Somebody in the upper deck made a pretty good catch just above us. Good job using the old hat. Bautista takes another walk. Bartolo Colon is roughed up again by the Blue Jays. He lost just 4 innings here this afternoon. Gives up 7 hits, 6 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And it was a 4-run second inning and 2 more runs in the 4th.
Surprised that he's out of the game after 67 pitches. I know he's given up the 6 earned runs and the 7 hits. Surprised me a little bit.
Not at this point, given the fact they have expanded bullpens. You're going to need him down the stretch. He will be able to bounce back after 67 pitches. And remember, we mentioned it's getting kind of dicey. The top of the American League East. Boston trails the Yankees by 3.5. And I think, too, if you have to look ahead into the postseason right now, you got to save as many bullets as you can for Bartolo Colon.
You got to assume that they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they will. 3.5 game lead. They're just too good of a team.
Ground ball. Jeter goes to Cano, back to first. Double play.
Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Two down. Scott Proctor in his first inning of work. It's the double play off the bat of Adam Lind. Now he'll deal with David Cooper. Cooper is the DH this afternoon. Drives this ball down the left side, but it's going to slice into the seats. This time of the year, when you look at available pitchers, both teams have a well-stocked bullpen. Mariano Rivera is on that list, 600 career saves.
13 pitchers Joe Girardi has to choose from in that bullpen for the last couple of weeks of the season. He might run out of ink putting all those names on that lineup card.
Well, they doubled up some of the names and put 2 names on the same line. Oh, Valdez, left-hander, loosening up. Strike 3 call. Proctor has a very quick 5th inning as he gets David Cooper. He strikes out for the 2nd time this afternoon. We have played 5 complete. Henderson Alvarez has a 5-run lead. A guest from Make-A-Wish, Canada. Have a beautiful afternoon at the ballpark, and we're happy to have you here at Rogers Center. Henderson Alvarez, his first start against the New York Yankees, and he just continues to impress.
Yeah, he certainly does. Now, Alvarez, 5 innings. He went 7 his last time, 6, 8, 6, so he can go the distance. Just a walk. 1 strikeout that came last inning. He's not a strikeout pitcher. He puts the ball in play. I was talking today to Bruce Walton, the pitching coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I was talking to him about types of pitchers that have to pitch here in this ballpark. And he said power pitchers with sinkers. He says those are the type of pitchers that we need here, I think, to be successful, because anything in the air in this ballpark is going to go.
That being said, if you take that a step further, now if you're going to put together a defense behind a pitcher like that, you need quick athletes that can cover a lot of ground, especially on the infield. This one is going to bounce on the warning track and go out of play.
Especially in the middle of the diamond. I think a good shortstop, a good second baseman. You've got that, I think, in Laurie at third base and Lind on the right side. They're good corner infielders, but in the middle you need guys who can go get the ball.
And then you have a center fielder that can go gap to gap like Colby Rasmus. This ball is driven to right, and that's going to get down and bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. Curtis Granderson with his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
Looks like he went to the slider once again. Again, that's his 3rd best pitch. Granderson has really become a dangerous pull hitter with the New York Yankees. Yanks that into right field for an extra base hit.
Leadoff double. Mark Teixeira had a double to center field his last time up, and hits one in the same spot. This one is going to get down, and Colby Rasmus misses it. Teixeira hustling into second, beats the throw from Malone. Boy, oh boy, it looked like Granderson was going to stop at third. Rob Thompson had put up the stop sign, and then Rasmus kicked it, and Granderson comes in to score.
Yeah, you're down by 5 runs, so you can't take any chances, especially where they are in the lineup. Granderson holds up on that line drive. The ball comes up on Rasmus, so he'll be charged with an error. Watch Granderson. He's got to hold up to make sure that that ball is down, being down by 5 runs, and he was going to stop. But then as soon as he realizes the ball's kicked around, he scores easily.
Great example of a base runner watching his coach. He wasn't going to look back over his shoulder, but watching focus in on Rob Thompson and then sees the go-ahead. But if he looks back, that's the center fielder. He can't score.
Yeah, he's still standing on third base.
Rob Thompson, the Canadian, does a good job at third base while Granderson kept his eye on his coach. If he turns around and looks at the play himself, chances are he's not going to be able to score.
Also, when you're a runner like that and you're at second base and there's a base hit, you got to assume that you're going to try and score until that coach holds you up.
Ball goes back to the backstop, and by the time Molina could figure out where it was, it had bounced past him. On the rebound.
Thinking that the ball is going to be away, and it goes all the way across the inside.
Yeah, Molina was set up on the outside corner. And we had complimented Alvarez on his control all afternoon. He really missed badly, and that ball went back to the backstop. So it's a wild pitch charge to Alvarez. Teixeira now at third. Teixeira does not get credit for an RBI on the Granderson play. Granderson scores on the air by Colby Rasmus, the center fielder. Robinson Cano. They had thrown Cano down and in last night, and finally he got to one of those pitches and ripped it off the wall in right. That was against Jesse Litch in the 6th inning.
Yeah, maybe he went to the well one too many times.
Alvarez trying to run that ball inside. Hits Cano in the hip. Looked like Molina wanted a 4-seam fastball upstairs.
Well, one of the things that Alvarez has done a good job of this year, not overthrowing. And once he got to 2 strikes, it looks like he's trying to overthrow the ball just a little bit too much. Come out of your delivery, and now the ball's going all over the place. That time he throws it behind Cano and actually clips him. Hit by a pitch, and the first 3 batters here in the 6th inning reach. That might get some stirring in the bullpen.
Alex Rodriguez. Long drive left field. This ball is gone. First pitch, 3-run, a home run for Alex Rodriguez. Number 16. And just like that, it's a 1-run game.
They never go away, the Yankees. Not with the type of power they can put out there. You make a couple of mistakes, and they make you pay for it. A-Rod, back in the lineup with his new split grip, gets to that inside fastball and turns on it. Quickly, this ball gets out of the ballpark, and 3 runs come across. Home run number 16. A-Rod, they said, He's just not healthy. His numbers are way down. He just hasn't been healthy this year.
Rodriguez had surgery on his knee. He missed substantial time with that. And then when he did come back off the disabled list, he banged up his thumb, and he's been dealing with that. But that was a line drive shot to the back of the bullpen in left.
Kevin Long says he hasn't lost anything. He just hasn't been healthy this year. He hasn't been as explosive as he's been in the past. And that's because of the thumb injuries and the knee injuries.
Swisher lost the grip on that bat. You see Carlos Villanueva loosening up. Both bullpens fully stocked and well rested. Changeup is fouled back.
You know, these teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox and Tampa, they just have so much pride. You get them down and they will toughen up, make things very difficult for you with these great veteran players that they have.
Off the end of the bat, Laurie throws out Swisher. That's the first out of the inning.
These are great teaching tools for these young players that the Blue Jays have. We talked about it in the opening about the evaluation that's going on with these young players that they have this month. Alvarez is going to learn something. Cruising right along, you make a couple of mistakes, and just like that, it's a one-run game.
Jesus Montero. First pitch swinging, goes after that slider. Rasmus calling off low and makes the catch. 2 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Rogers Center, looking out onto Lake Ontario. Going to be running out of sailing weekends here real quickly. Brett Gardner shows bunt. Takes a ball outside. Brett Laurie just a step behind the bag at third. Cut on a high fastball, ball and strike. Coming into this game, Brett Gardner was hitting .259. But we had mentioned he has a .450 average against the Blue Jays. You take the Blue Jays out of the mix, he's hitting .242. 17 points lower.
I know he's been Superman against the Blue Jays this year. On the bases, at bat, in the field.
You can see he and Molina are having a running conversation during every at bat. Sometimes when you have a hitter that's as hot as Gardner against your team, catchers will talk to him during at bats. Boy, we can't get you out. I don't know what we're going to throw you next.
What do you do? What do you think we should do here?
What do you think about a changeup? Yep, I like a changeup. Gardner continues to wear out the Blue Jays. A 2-out base hit in a 1-run game. Now he's a threat to steal.
Certainly is. Stays back on that off-speed pitch and just slices it to left field. Shorten up on him and he knocks it over your head. You move up and he just dumps it in front of you. 45 stolen bases, so you know he's not going to be hanging around first base very long.
And Romine doesn't give him a chance to steal. He goes after the first pitch and grounds out. A rookie mistake in a one-run game. Alvarez gets out of the sixth, still leading the Yankees. Magazine, September 29th, featuring stunning photography and in-depth analysis from Canada's top sports journalists, including Shai Davidi, Michael Grange, and Mark Spector. Be the first to get it. Subscribe today at sportsnet.ca/magazine. Scott Proctor worked an inning, a 1-2-3 fifth inning, and now left-hander Aaron Laffey will come into the ball game. Laffey, his numbers combined between the Mariners and the Yankees.
Yeah, Blue Jays have seen Laffey before. He started games when he was with the Cleveland Indians organization. He was a 16th round pick in 2003 by the Indians. He was a starter then. He spent some time with the Mariners pitching out of their bullpen. And now will be the second left-hander out of the bullpen for Joe Girardi. Laffey sinks the fastball. He's got a little bit of a cut slider. He's got all the pitches that a starter needs. He just doesn't throw hard. He throws lots of strikes.
This is his second stint with the Yankees. He was picked up in a waiver deal from Seattle. Then he was optioned back down to AAA. Designated for assignment on the 21st of August. Kobe Rasmus. Rasmus, a good start to his day. He's 2 for 2, a double and a bunt single. Scored a couple of runs and driven in one. A 6-5 game. Blue Jays batting here in the bottom of the sixth. Pops this up in foul territory. Rodriguez over near the wall, reaches for it, makes the catch. One down. Brett Laurie picked up his 24th ribby in the second inning in a ground ball to shortstop. David Cooper scored on the play. That was part of the 4-run inning. Laurie takes a first pitch strike from Laffey. Laurie has seen Laffey. He has a base hit against him. pops this one into center field. Granderson's got plenty of room. That ball carries all the way to the warning track.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
That ball carried a little bit further than we thought off the bat of Brett Lord.
Yeah, Granderson just kind of kept going and going, and that ball carried all the way to the warning track in center. Adam Lowen. Lowen walked in the second inning against Kelowna, came around to score. And then he was caught looking at a Cologne fastball. 2-0.
Get one up in the air right here. 2-0. After that fly ball by Brett Lord chased Granderson all the way to the warning track in center field.
And Breeze has picked up here at Rogers Center. There's a strike on the corner. Ball is carrying. Alex Rodriguez, he didn't need any help with the win. He had a line drive to the back of the bullpen in left field. This ball is down the left side. Gardner over near the wall, and it's back out of play. Alex Rodriguez creeping up on the all-time home run leaderboard. He is now just one behind his former Seattle Mariner teammate Ken Griffey Jr. 6th all-time.
13 straight seasons of at least 30 home runs. That will probably end. Well, it will end. He's only got 16 this year.
Sound like it broke his bat, and it's a foul ball. Laffey got that ball inside, and Lowen needs some new lumber.
Laffey's one of those left-handers where he doesn't throw the ball by you. You look out over the plate and he can run it inside to you and break your bat. What do they call them? Comfortable offers?
Yeah. You walk up there thinking, man, this guy has nothing. And then you walk back 4 times and I'll get him next time.
Plus he gets you your bat a couple of times. That's a bad feeling.
Just kind of lulls you to sleep. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a 6-5 Blue Jays lead. You just get a sense for Laffey setting up Lowen for a breaking ball down and away. He's run a couple of fastballs inside to him.
In and up, and now he might get that looping curveball that he has.
Off the end of the bat. Cano waits for it and goes to first to Teixeira. Lowen's retired. Laffey comes out of the bullpen as a 1-2-3-6. After 6 here at Rogers Center, it's a 6-5 Blue Jays lead. Carlos Villanueva by visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. Henderson Alvarez, his day has come to an end. He leaves with a 1-run lead, goes 6 innings. The Yankees reached him for 9 hits, 5 earned runs. Walked the batter and had 1 strikeout.
Just the 1 strikeout in that last inning. A double, single, hit by pitch, and then a home run really ruined his day. They scored 4 runs. He's still in line for the win if the bullpen can hold it. Carlos Villanueva comes out of the bullpen for John Farrell's team. This is his 31st game of the year. He made 13 starts in the middle of the season for the Blue Jays when they had some trouble with their starting rotation. 17 relief appearances, and 7 of those have been 2 innings or more. So he's done a good job out of the bullpen this year for the Blue Jays.
He's in to work the 7th. Derek Jeter looks at the ball down and away. The Yankees really gave the Blue Jays a great opportunity when they ran into a double play. Robinson Cano passed Mark Teixeira after Colby Rasmus ran down a deep drive in the power alley in right center off the bat of Nick Swisher. That cost the Yankees a run, maybe more.
Teixeira was set up to tag up, and he would have scored easily. So the worst thing out of all that, there would have been 2 outs and a runner at second base.
And a second run in that inning.
Yeah, take it off the board.
2 balls and a strike. Mark Teixeira is swinging the bat well this afternoon. Has a single and a double, both of them to the left side of center. Changeup. McCoy deep and short. Bang bang at first, and Jeter gets the call. Long throw for Mike McCoy. He's got a strong arm. And Jeter just stretched and beat the throw.
Deep in left field. He's got to come all the way across the diamond to get the throw. And you can see on this time right here, you see Dan Iasonia right on top of it, and he is safe. It's a good call.
Boy, how many times are the umpires proven right by instant replay? Iasonia has the benefit of that foot on the bag and ball popping into the glove. He can hear that distinct sound.
Yeah, that's what they go on. You know, the foot hitting the bag and the ball hitting the glove. 2 very distinctive sounds, and you've got to train yourself to listen for it. It's a good call right there.
Curtis Granderson has been on base 3 times already this afternoon. Looking down at Rob Thompson, the third base coach, seeing if there's anything on.
We were talking his last time up that he's really become a very good pull hitter in his career. Used to slash the ball all over the infield and outfield, but since he has come to New York, he's really gotten on top of the plate and become a pull hitter. I was looking at his directional hits, and the double that he had his last time up, his 99th hit this year to right field. Couldn't say that about Granderson when he first came up with Detroit.
Comerica Park, it doesn't serve you well to pull the ball.
Nope.
Yankee Stadium, it's a different story. Off-speed pitch, and Granderson was out in front. Yeah, if you were a left-handed hitter playing in Yankee Stadium, you'd be a pull hitter too.
Yeah, I'd hit right up on top of that plate, hit from an open stance, and try and yank everything. He's had 11 hits to left field, 35 to center, now 99 to right field.
2-2. Jeter at first. Boy, that caught Molina on the wrist. I don't know if it was the ball or the bat, but boy, he's in some pain.
Maybe on the forearm of his catching hand as he went down to get that sinker. Watch it. The ball's going down and away. Yeah, right on the forearm.
And reaching for that sinker ball, you exposed that arm. It actually caught him in a better spot than I thought. I thought it was more down toward the wrist. It's up on the forearm. And George Poulos, the head trainer, out to help him get the feeling back in that left arm. Boy, over the course of a summer, he had up all the bumps and bruises the catchers have to deal with, and they're pretty beaten up.
Yeah, we've had some shots this year. Jose Molina, remember the one where his glove was bent backwards on a foul tip? It really hurt his wrist.
Bends those fingers back, you get that flexible glove, and you can see he's starting to move the hand a little bit better, and now he's got the feeling back, and he'll get himself some more time as he visits with Villanueva. Just a reminder, the 2012 schedule has been announced, and with that in mind, don't forget to purchase your Blue Jays season tickets. They're on sale now. Purchase your 2012 season tickets by December 2nd and receive a Blue Jays replica jersey, a $100 gift card at Jay Shop, and a 1-year subscription to the new Sportsnet magazine. Receive great benefits and attend exclusive season ticket holder events all season long. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234, or you can log on to BlueJays.com. 2012 season schedule is out, and it'll be here before you know it. 2-2 to Granderson. Popped foul.
Took a look at that schedule for next year, and you look right away to the interleague, and the Mets are going to come to Toronto next year. The Washington Nationals are here in June, along with the Philadelphia Phillies. A return trip by Philadelphia here.
The Blue Jays will go down to Florida and take on the Marlins in that new ballpark that opens up next season. Another pop back out of play. How about the Yankee fans? Next year, the Yankees will play here in the third week of May, a 2-game series. But the New York Mets follow them right in after that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you have your Yankee fans, and very few, but some crossover. They're Met fans as well. But if you're going to make a weekend out of it, you get to see the Yankees and the Mets.
We get to see that Atlanta pitching staff again next year. We get to go down to Atlanta. Haven't had a lot of fun down there the last few years.
Another foul out of play. We mentioned this in last night's game. Curtis Granderson sees more pitches than anybody in baseball per at bat, averaging 4.45 pitches per at bat, and this is why. Remember when he first came to the Yankees, there was so much talk about, well, maybe we might have to platoon him because he can't hit left-handers. But Kevin Long and Granderson have worked very hard at developing his stroke against lefties and righties, and he's turned into a terrific player.
Led the American League one year in strikeouts, but he's improved that.
Well, that ball bounced right up and knocked his helmet off. He and Molina are not having a good at bat here. You see where Granderson ranks in the American League in home runs. He's 3 behind Jose Bautista. Mark Teixeira, Granderson's teammate, had 37. Reynolds, the Orioles' first baseman now, has 33. But Jose Bautista with 96 home runs over the last 2 seasons. Jeter still at first, nobody out. Another foul.
Granderson, looking at some of the other numbers that he has put up this year, is the first Yankee since 1955, Mickey Mantle, to have 10 triples and 30 homers in the same season. Think about all the great hitters that they have had. Over 50 years, he's just the second.
Another foul off. This is some at bat.
Villanueva's got a lot of pitches too. 7 foul balls now by Granderson. off of Villanueva. He'll throw that curveball up there, throw that changeup, cut his fastball, a little bit of a slider. That's why this at bat is impressive. It's fouling off every type of pitch up there.
Now he's using his 2-strike approach, that's for sure. Short and quick. Drives this one to center field and deep. Rasmus looking up. This ball is gone. What an at-bat for Curtis Granderson. His 40th home run to dead center after a lengthy battle with Carlos Villanueva. A 12-pitch at-bat.
That might be one of the most impressive at-bats that we have seen this year. Goes down and gets it. Doesn't try and pull this one. You see, he sinks the fastball and goes down and hammers it to center field. I told you the ball is really carrying here this afternoon. That one just carried right out of the ballpark.
And it seemed to have been from about the 3rd inning on when a breeze kind of picked up and the ball started carrying and drifting. We saw that with a Brett Lawrie pop-up. The wind has picked up here at Rogers Center. And that ball just kept going and going. 0-2 to Mark Teixeira. Yankees with a 7-6 lead.
Only team in baseball with over 200 home runs as a team. And the home runs have got them right back into this game.
51st home run the Yankees have hit in their last 28 games. And Curtis Granderson, what a season he's put together. A 40 home run season. Breaking ball again to Sherrod. Checks Jerry Meals. There's no swing. Two home runs here this afternoon. Alex Rodriguez, a 3-run shot that came off Henderson Alvarez, and Curtis Granderson's 2-run homer here in the 7th off Villanueva. Lawrie in that shift in right field. They mentioned Brett Gardner and the great season he's had getting on base. Well, Curtis Granderson's done a great job of driving runs in.
Well, you play the Red Sox and Yankees so many times, 18 times each, so you're going to get these inflated numbers. The Red Sox have scored a ton of runs against the Blue Jays this year. 4 of the top 5 are Red Sox. Granderson right behind Jacoby Ellsbury now, 16 RBIs.
This is the 17th game these two clubs have played against one another. And the hits just keep on coming. There are no rough spots in this lineup. Today they've got a couple of rookies down in the bottom 3rd of the order, but you still have to deal with the big bats. Good fastball that jams Cano, and Lind will step on the back. 2 outs.
And it seemed like these type of lineups, these deep lineups, good hitters are always coming up in big situations. You see it with the Red Sox. It seems like this guy's up again. You know, it seems like they turn over that lineup so quickly. And here's A-Rod.
So many good so many good hitters in the lineup, and they're patient. They'll make you throw it over, and they'll take their walks and pass the baton to the next guy. Rodriguez lines the first pitch into the seats, foul.
That run he scored on that home run that you're seeing right there ties Eddie Collins for 14th place on the all-time runs scored list in baseball. 1,821 runs scored for A-Rod.
Yeah, when Alex Rodriguez passes people on the all-time leaderboards, he's passing Hall of Famers. I mean, the guys that he's passing now, most of them are Hall of Famers as he's moving up the list. Off-speed pitch. Lowry deep at third. Rodriguez is retired, but the Yankees, an infield hit and a 2-run home run by Curtis Granderson, have taken a 7-6 lead. Online and on your Rogers smartphone. Now available for all Rogers customers. Sign up today at RogersOnDemand.com. You can stay up to date with everything by signing on to Rogers On Demand and take the Blue Jays with you wherever you go. Joe Girardi is digging deep into that bullpen. This is the third relief pitcher of the afternoon. Proctor Laffey and now Hector Noesi.
Tall right-hander. You can see Noesi, his numbers for the season. This is his fourth stint with the Yankees, up and down on that shuttle all season long. He has made some starts for the Yanks. He has pitched out of the bullpen, basically a sinker and a slider type pitcher. Throws hard. He's got a lot of movement on his pitches.
Mark Teahen will start things off. Teahen comes on as a pinch hitter for Jose Molina. Remember, Molina got hit by that foul tip in the Curtis Granderson at bat in the top half of this inning. But more than likely, with the right-hander on the mound, they would have pinch hit for him anyway. But that might be a factor, getting hit on that rough forearm. Molina is going inside with George Poulos, so maybe that arm and that contusion on his arm is a concern and a factor in Teahen pinch hitting. Mark Teahen as a pinch hitter for the season, 4 for 23. But the Blue Jays, he's 0 for 8.
Doesn't get cheated when he's up there.
Mark's got some power. He's hit a home run with the Blue Jays. He's got 4 home runs on the season. Wow. Ball was down and away. Teahen was ready to cast the bat aside and go to first.
Noesi has a good sinker, and this one looked like it sunk right out of the zone. But C.B. Buckner called a strike.
And you've got to expand your strike zone after that tough call down and away, and Teahen strikes out. What a turnaround. One pitch called a strike, and you've got to expand.
And then that good riding fastball. You see it away from the lefties. So he comes back to get him.
Mike McCoy had a big hit in his last at bat back in the 4th inning. A 2-run opposite field double over the head of Nick Swisher in right.
And now Swisher is backed up just a few steps now in right field.
Good slider. 0-2. Kyle Drabek appears to be close to ready. John Farrell talked about getting him into a game last night. Bouncing ball to short. Jeter in the dirt, scooped by Teixeira. Boy, that's a great feeling for the infield. There's no Mark Teixeira's over there at first base, and you can throw it in his direction, and chances are he's going to dig it out of the dirt.
Just get it close. Just want to roll glove. Got one of these last night. He goes down and stays down and then picks it. I like how he anchors himself also at the bag to get down low for that throw.
You see Teixeira reminding Robinson Cano there might be a possibility of a Kelly Johnson bunt here. Teixeira has moved in, and he brought Cano in with him a bit. Pop back over the screen and out of play. Wesley's throwing a lot of strikes.
Got a good arm. Good movement on his fastball. Throw a little bit of a slider, but mostly he'll sink his fastball.
Wesley's just 24 years old. Breaking ball fouled up. He comes from the Dominican Republic. His first year in the big leagues. This is 28th appearance of the season.
One thing you want when you come out of that bullpen, throw strikes. And the Yankees have gotten that this afternoon. When Colon left after 4 innings, Scott Proctor came in, faced 3 batters. Aaron Laffey faced 3 batters, and now Noesi is 1 strike away from doing the same thing.
Well, it's interesting, in September managers have those deep bullpens, and you can keep running new pitchers out there, and some believe that it shouldn't be that way. Most important baseball for most teams is played in September, and you'd have a different set of rules. The rosters go from 25 to a maximum of 40. And you can just shuffle new pitchers in and out of the game and give the hitters, you know, distinctly different looks each at bat.
I like the rule, you know, where you can see some of these kids come up here, but maybe you should limit it to maybe 5 players in the month of September.
Good job by Kelly Johnson. You saw Jose Bautista standing on deck. Changeup. He was out in front of it. Swisher closing ground quickly for the bullpen. They've done a good job. They've retired 7 straight. We have played RogersOnDemand.com. Watch the Jays live from anywhere, online or on the go at RogersOnDemand.com.
The Yankees have already scored a run in the fourth inning, had a couple more runners on, threatening to score more, and Colby Rasmus runs this ball down off the bat of Robinson Cano, off the bat of Swisher as Robinson Cano passes Mark Teixeira at third base for the third out. The Yankees ended up scoring just one run in that inning. It could have been a lot worse if not for Colby Rasmus. What a play.
Colby Rasmus showed a lot of speed and a lot of range as he ran that one down on the warning track in right center. Kyle Drabek comes on for his second relief appearance of the season. John Farrell has thoughts about finding a start for Drabek, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't sit too long without pitching.
Stays stretched out as much as possible. It's been 8 days since Drabek has been into a ball game. That was against Baltimore. There are his numbers. J.P. Arencibia comes in to take over the catching duties after Tiem was pinch hit for. Eric Thames is now in the ballgame in left field, taking over for Adam Lowen.
Nick Swisher, the batter that hit that ball that Rasmus made such a fine play on, drives this ball to center. Rasmus drifting back. The ball continues to carry. That makes it almost to the warning track in center field. Adam Lowen, not really sure if he is taken out of the game because of an injury or what, but he has been removed, and Thames comes in defensively. Remember, Lowen dove for that ball down the left field line and missed it when Gardner sliced a line drive down there. Jesus Montero, the DH.
He's got a good arm. That's one thing that we've noticed about Drabek. He's got a good arm. If he stays within his delivery and he doesn't spin out, throw strikes, they love him.
Yeah. And nobody's on the verge of giving up on Kyle Drabek. He just had a setback, and we've seen so many great pitchers go back and forth the minor leagues. Takes them a while to get everything together. That one goes all the way back to the backstop.
John Farrell kept reminding us all summer long about the young pitchers for the Boston Red Sox that he worked with that had to keep going back to the minor league, and now they're established stars. This one gets away from Drabek and goes all the way back to the backstop. John Lester had to be sent down multiple times.
Clay Buchholz, another right-hander that came up and went back down. Well, great movement on that fastball. Ties up Montero. Of course, there's no better example than Roy Halladay. Halladay came up and nearly threw a no-hitter in his first start here at Rogers Center, and then had to go back to the minor leagues and rebuild himself. And as we know, the rest is history. What a comeback. Kyle Drabek all the way back and strikes out Montero with a good fastball.
It's free and easy, too. 96 miles an hour in a good spot. He hits the glove of Arencibia. No chance. Throws that ball right by Montero. He's a little tardy.
Brett Gardner. Gardner has been on base 3 times this afternoon. Reached on a fielder's choice and then had a triple and a single. One thing about Drabek is the drive toward the plate. That always seems to be an important aspect of his delivery. When he drives right toward the catcher, that's when he has been able to really pound the strike zone. Good example of the quality of his arm. Gardner had a fastball count and was still late on the fastball. Rafael Soriano loosening up, appears to be ready to come into the ball game. Bounce toward second. Kelly Johnson. Good inning for Kyle Draper. 3 up, 3 down here in the 8th. Middle of the 8th. Check in with Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio right here at Rogers Center. A fan appreciation sale this homestand, the Yankees and the Angels series. The Jay Shop will be offering fans 50% off most Blue Jays and MLB branded products. Call Blue Jays directly for more information at 341-1234. That's 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com, or you can stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Last homestand of the year for the Blue Jays. Yankees bullpen has really shut down the Jays offensively. Proctor, Laffey, Noesi, and now Rafael Soriano.
They've only been able to get a walk against Proctor, and now you'll see Soriano in the 8th inning. 4th appearance in as many games for Soriano. Very good earned run average of 3.9. He's a strikeout pitcher. Chris Dickerson has taken over for Nick Swisher in right field. A little bit more speed in the outfield for the Yankees.
Bautista hit a long home run off Soriano in New York. I mean, a blast. Looked like a spinning breaking ball, and he drove it well back in the seats in left.
He said he couldn't put a better swing on that pitch that he saw in New York.
Ball on the strike. One-run ball game. Yankees lead it 7-6. A deeper break in that breaking ball. Soriano's ahead.
A little bit better second half for Soriano than in the first half. He was battling injuries. His ERA in the second half is 2.7.
Upstairs, 2-2. Bautista's home run against Soriano is only the 3rd home run he has given up. He's only given up 3 long balls. Soriano got that cutter right in a great spot away from Bautista. That's the first out of the 8.
Struck out the side last night. Comes right back with his first strikeout here tonight.
Adam Lynn, last September, Soriano was with the Tampa Bay Rays on the 12th of September. Adam Lind with a walk-off home run against Soriano. And now he'd not hit a walk-off, but he'd certainly hit a big home run if he can connect.
That cutting fastball will dart inside to Lind. Good matchup here.
Soriano struck Lind out in the 7th inning last night. Soriano came in the 7th, and as Pat mentioned, struck out the side. Struck out Lind, Laurie, and Rasmus. Austin Romine looks very good behind the plate. So much so that we haven't noticed the rookie, and this is just his second big league start.
That's been his strong points. Catching, receiving, catching, throw, calling ball games. Got soft hands. Watching him, catching some of those pitches right on the corners. He has really helped out his pitcher this afternoon by keeping some pitches in the strike zone for him.
He's got a pretty good coach to help him out as well, Tony Pena. The bench coach here with the Yankees, former manager of the Royals and a great all-star catcher himself. Really has some great ideas about improving a catcher's skills defensively. And he's got a couple of good ones to work with, Austin Romine and Jesus Montero.
He presents a nice target.
Breaking ball, and Lind strikes out. Soriano has retired the last 5 batters he's faced in the Blue Jays series, all on strikeouts.
A variety of breaking balls. This one looks like the hard curveball. He's got a slider and he cuts his fastball. He can go inside, outside with it. That time right over the top with the curve. Sets Adam Lind down.
David Cooper singled in his first at bat and then struck out twice. Well, you can see Romine really presents that target, as you mentioned, and just looks like a bullseye in the middle of a big target behind the plate.
He's got a wide base with his legs, and then he's got the glove set up right in the middle. Creates a very low target with soft hands. Heard about him for the last couple of years as he made his way up to the major leagues. Yeah, hardly any movement.
That's really important, and we've talked to Mike Scioscia, the manager of the Angels, about that. He thinks that's the most important thing a catcher has to do, is to receive the ball in the strike zone. And you do that with good hands and a quiet presentation.
He was ticking off a list of things that, a catcher's, the important thing that a catcher needs to do. The last thing he mentioned, well, I don't even know if he even mentioned it. Did he mention offense?
Nope. He didn't mention offense. He talked about communications with your pitcher, receiving the ball in the zone. Blocking was even ahead of throwing.
Blocking the ball on wild pitches.
He mentioned, too, that receiving the ball, and that's Russell Martin, who's had a bounce-back season here with the Yankees, but when you receive maybe 150, 160 pitches over the course of a game, and if you make them look like strikes, you're going to put your pitcher in a much better situation. Jorge Posada, pretty good veteran presence to have to help these young catchers. He had a veteran presence that influenced him early on, and that was Joe Girardi, who's now his manager. JP Arencibia has improved all year long with his catching skills. His throwing has really come along as he's really incorporating his lower half now into that throwing. He's getting a lot better carry. David Cooper, full count, 2 outs. Again, Soriano strikes out the side. A 1-2-3 eighth inning, as Soriano has really bounced back from a slow start in the first half. Baseball Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is asking you, the fans, to pick the top 10 finalists for the Ford C. Frick Award for Broadcasting Excellence. Just go to facebook.com/baseballhall. Click on Wall and vote for Tom Cheek. Fans can vote once a day throughout the month of September. Let's get Tom Cheek into the Hall of Fame where he belongs. Kyle Drabek in his second inning of relief here. Had a good inning, a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Eric Chavez pinch hitting for the catcher, Austin Romine. Chavez started in the game yesterday, hit a 2-run home run off of Dustin McGowan. Breaking ball. He has said that Chavez went too far. 0-2.
Chavez has been their best pinch hitter this year. You don't pinch hit a whole lot in the American League with the DH. He has had 3 hits this year that leads their team. He's also had a couple of RBI. Excuse me, Buck.
Kyle Drabek using his curveball again.
When he went down to AAA, they took a couple of pitches away from him. They wanted to have him stop throwing so many cutters and reestablish his fastball. Fastball command is so important. He's got a good curveball. It's right over the top, and he's used a couple different grips where he feels comfortable, where he doesn't really expose it or show his pitch, that curveball too soon.
Two and 2 to Chavez. Cut on and missed. Came back with a great fastball. Second strikeout of the game for Kyle Drabek. Yankees and Blue Jays will wrap up their season series tomorrow. We will be on Rogers Sportsnet 1. The pregame show begins at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. That's 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. The Jays on Sportsnet 1. Yankees and Blue Jays, their final game of the 2011 season. Derek Jeter had a crucial hit in the 7th inning, an infield single to short, just ahead of a Curtis Granderson home run. He's hit 4 ground balls to the shortstop today. .3,000 hits surpassed by Jeter this season.
He's another one. You talk about, the stars that they have had on the team, and when they start passing some players, they start passing Hall of Famers. He is now 4 hits away from Cap Anson on baseball's all-time hits list. Somebody's up in the bullpen for the Yankees. I don't know who it is.
Jeter goes too far on the breaking ball. He strikes out. Yeah, the old guy down in the bullpen is loosening up, number 42, and he is 1 save away from tying Trevor Hoffman for the all-time saves leaderboard. 600 saves for Mariano Rivera.
Amazing. Just an amazing stat, an amazing player.
Curtis Granderson hit his 40th home run back in the 7th inning. That's the most home runs by a Yankee center fielder since Mickey Mantle hit 54 in that magical 61 season. That puts Granderson's season into proper perspective. A power hitting center fielder.
Amazing. Amazing year that he has put together with all the runs scored, stolen bases. We mentioned the triples and the home runs.
Change up this low. Again, Granderson works the count better than anybody in baseball. Boy, so many of the pitches we have seen from Drabek have really been quality pitches. Explosive movement on the fastball and a tight biting curveball. Throws the curveball and Granderson walks. Curtis Granderson has been on base 5 times this afternoon. Remember, it's just a 1-run game. Granderson has 24 steals. Mike McCoy reminding Drabek, in this situation with the share of hitting, the Blue Jays usually shift, and Drabek has to cover third base should Granderson take off. The share goes after the first pitch. If Granderson steals second and is safe, Drabek has to make sure he goes to third to cover third base. And Sevia's throw is late at first. Granderson 24 for 34 in steals this year. Fly ball right field. Bautista gets there and makes the catch. The Yankees are retired. Kyle Drabek, a good outing in his 2 innings of work. Mariano Rivera will come into the game. He has 41 saves this year, looking for save number 601. That would tie him with Trevor Hoffman as the all-time leader. saves, far and away ahead of Lee Smith, John Franco, and Billy Wagner. So Rivera comes into this ball game. He has 41 saves on the regular season. How appropriate. Number 42, his number, would tie him with Trevor Hoffman.
And the last player to wear number 42 in the big leagues. There are his numbers. Again, outstanding. Most ever saves in the American League history. His save percentage, almost 90% of the saves. He's had 672 career save opportunities. Nearly 90% of the time he has converted them. He repeats his delivery better than anybody I think I've ever seen in baseball. He stays within himself and basically throws one pitch.
Russell Martin has come into the game behind the plate after Romine was pinch hit for. Kobe Rasmus. Fights off that cutter right in on his hands. Rivera had a blown save right here at Rogers Center back in April. Blue Jays scored 2 runs on 4 hits. Through 25 pitches in that inning of work. 47 saves for Rivera against the Jays.
He has that one pitch cutter. It's probably the most devastating pitch in baseball. But he just doesn't throw it to one spot. He moves it around inside and outside. And it looks like they're going to go back inside. Tough to keep that ball fair.
Blue Jays have the ability to come back. They've done it all year long. They had a walk-off win last night. And you can see they trail just the San Francisco Giants in walk-off wins for the 2011 season. Tied with the Rays. That backdoor cutter. Rasmus is called out by C.B. Buckler. Tell you what, the Yankees bullpen has flat out slammed the door on Blue Jays offense.
That's been the story this afternoon. 4 straight strikeouts now by the Yankees. That ball way outside, but called a strike. Look where it hits the chalk of the other batter's box. But that's been the story, how they have shut down Blue Jays.
Blue Jays haven't had a base runner since the 5th inning. Scott Proctor came into the game in relief. He walked the leadoff batter. He was immediately erased with a double play. Blue Jays would love to see Mariano Rivera tie the record on Monday. Ball and a strike. Ninth inning, 1 out. Yankees trailed 6-1 at one point. They scored 4 in the 6th and 2 more in the 7th. Broken back to Shara, smothers it and beats Laurie to the back. 2 down.
Seen that a few times with Rivera to right-handers. That cut fastball, they get it off the end of the bat. Tough to keep that ball fair. The Yankees this year 84-3 when leading after 8 innings. Just a devastating pitch.
Eric Thames, his first at bat since coming into the game. Thames has a hit in his only plate appearance against Rivera. Came on defensively in the top of the 8th.
You know what makes Rivera impressive, what he has done in his career. On top of the 600 saves, how about all the saves in the playoffs and the years and years that he has put together, pitching out of the bullpen every year in the playoffs for the Yankees. I mean, that takes its toll too.
The most difficult time of the year to close games out against baseball's best.
And he has some of the best numbers in the postseason.
Fly ball, center field. Granderson coming in, and that should do it. The Yankees win. Mariano Rivera, his 601st career save, ties Trevor Hoffman as the all-time saves leader. Number 42 for number 42.
8 seasons of 40 saves. Does it again, and the Yankee power and their power out of their bullpen is the story of this game. The 3-run home run by A-Rod, the 2-run home run by Granderson, and then shut down work by Joe Girardi's bullpen.
The bullpen did the job today. The Yankees even the series at a game apiece. Will be back tomorrow afternoon for the season finale. Yankees and Blue Jays. Stay tuned. Ivanka Osmak will bring you up to date. Connected coming up next.